So Terrifier 3! I'm a little late with this one. The third movie in the Terrifier series, well, technically it's the kind of the fourth, if you're talking actual movies, directed by Damien Leone, and this one, yes, it is a Christmas movie. I say fourth movie because of course you have to count the All Hallows Eve anthology movie, and there were some shorts as well, but obviously theatrical movie, yeah, technically it's the fourth time Art the Clown has shown up, and this time he's doing a Santa costume. So this one takes place 5 years after the second movie, and our protagonists, the brother and sister duo, are dealing with it in a variety of ways. The younger brother, Jonathan, is trying to kind of move forward, but still is a little messed up with it, and the older sister, Sienna, is really struggling, suffering from PTSD, and is now living with her aunt and uncle and cousin. And we see that Art the Clown, after a kind of sticky end, maybe, at the second movie, he is kind of back. He's been in kind of hibernation for the last 5 years or so. But he and his kind of sidekick, who was the a victim from the first movie, who's now demonically possessed, are now wreaking havoc. And of course, Art, now dressed as Santa Claus, is making the most of the holiday and giving out his special kind of Christmas cheer. What will happen? You'll have to watch the movie and find out. So let's discuss. So Terrifier movies, of course, known for being super gory. This one is no exception. This one was quite the box office hit, considering its, you know, quite meager budget. I think it earned like 10 times its budget or something along the lines of that. So it is financially a massive success, and this, I'm sure, will be one of these franchises that keeps going and going and going, and will be on Terrifier 10 in a few years' time. So, what do I like about this movie? Yeah, it's kind of more of the same. Obviously, it's a particularly kind of gory movie, and this one is no different really. And we get some kind of cruel and torturous ways people are dispatched. There's probably maybe more victims in this one would say, rather than compared to the first two movies. Although I think maybe it doesn't have that super sort of shocking moment the first two movies do. Maybe to a degree, but maybe not quite as much. There's a particularly kind of gruesome death involving liquid nitrogen and then a hammer. Yeah, that was pretty bad. And there are some kind of, like, obviously humorous touches. There's a lot of kind of references to other horror movies, and I think one of the kind of the key factors here is a very good and captivating final girl, Sienna, played by LaVera, and of course David Howard Thornton playing Art the Clown. Both do a great performance and really kind of capture this. I would liken this to a kind of almost Batman sort of style kind of relationship, because we have these sort of protagonist and antagonist seem to be kind of tied together, and even the kind of the Joker character, so to speak, obviously being Art the Clown, how almost had like a kind of Harley Quinn sort of style, sort of psychic. So it kind of reminds me of a kind of a somewhat of a Batman kind of relationship compared to the Joker and things like that. Obviously, the effects are all achieved practically and are, again, very kind of gruesome. I don't think Damien Leone was doing the effects this time, because he's obviously come from a VFX background. I think the effects look a little different. They look a little bit more kind of cartoony than the maybe the first two. Still very, very gory, and still, obviously, if you're not a fan of blood and guts, this isn't going to change your minds. But yeah, it maybe has a slightly more of a kind of a cartoony feel, but all achieved practically and all very, very effective and kind of well done. So, you know, it's very much business as usual for Art the Clown, and I think this movie tries to expand on the lore a little bit, set up by the first two movies. What doesn't work for me, the said lore, I think, weighs the movie down a little bit. The kind of the explanation of Sienna's protagonist is a little on the weaker side. I must say that she just is the kind of the protagonist because the movie demands it, without really giving us any sort of reason as to why specifically, outside of this is what the plot kind of needed to happen. And so I think the mythology, it's somewhat of an albatross across this movie, the movie's neck to a large degree. I don't know if it really is particularly kind of loads of sense. It's just a lot of waffle, really, to get, I think, the movie from A to B. I do think the Vicky character, who is this kind of sidekick of Art the Clown, actually threatens to somewhat overshadow him by having equally as much kind of attention spent on her, really, as Art the Clown. And sometimes you almost forget that Art the Clown is the sort of the primary antagonist here. So I don't know if I thought the large attention to this Vicky character was in the film's benefit to a degree. I think the movie, I mean, Damien Leone was told that he had to keep his movie under 2 hours. It's just over 2 hours. And I think by reading some details about the movie, this movie actually originally was longer but cut down. And the second one, sorry, was actually, you know, a bit too long. And I think there are moments here where it could have been cut down further to a little bit punchy. I mean, Sienna really doesn't become aware that Art is back until kind of over the kind of the halfway mark. So there is a little bit of time where I do feel maybe it kind of spins its wheels just a little bit here. And as I say, although it's very much the same, it doesn't quite have the, for me at least, the memorability factor as the first two. It's still a very good movie in regards to what you are going to expect, a bloody slasher movie. I think both the antagonist and protagonist leads do a good job in their roles. It's as gory as you want. It's very much more of the same, but I don't think it really excels in the way maybe that the first two did. But it's still a very good movie, and I'll certainly an above average horror movie, and Art the Clown at this point now is solidified as a horror icon. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think? Leave me a comment and I shall look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.